The Red Cross of St George on a white background is today one of the most recognisable flags in the world, and the enduring emblem of England. For various political reasons that I won't go into here, it has been seen more often in the country and online in recent weeks. But what is the history of the standard in England? The flag's rise to prominence was gradual, and it replaced a number of earlier standards that reflected the country's shifting sense of identity, religious devotion, and the nature of kingship. In the earliest centuries of England's history, there was no single national flag. Instead, rulers and kingdoms carried their own banners. This was particularly the case prior to the unification of England during the Heptarchy and other periods of Anglo-Saxon and Danelaw systems of rule. One of the most significant flags was the dragon or wyvern standard, which had its origins in Roman and Anglo-Saxon tradition. The Romans had carried the Draco, a dragon-shaped windsock used as a cavalry emblem, and this image was later adopted by the Anglo-Saxons, who also simulated other trappings of Roman authority and armaments. The Kingdom of Wessex, which grew to dominate much of England, used a golden wyvern on a red field as its symbol, although attestations of this are quite sketchy. According to the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, King Harold carried a dragon banner at the Battle of Hastings in 1066, a scene that appears to be depicted in the Bayeux Tapestry, where the fall of the dragon standard symbolises the defeat of his army. Alongside the dragon, other banners were associated with England's early patron saints. St Edmund the Martyr, the King of East Anglia, killed by Vikings in 869, was venerated across the kingdom, and his emblem, golden crossed arrows and a crown on a blue field, served at times as a national symbol. Later, St Edward the Confessor, canonised in the 12th century, was linked with another flag, a gold cross adorned with birds or fleur-de-lis on a blue background. These banners were primarily religious in character, indicating dedication to royal saints, rather than a unified national identity. It was during the Bloody Crusades of the 12th century that the Red Cross of St George first became associated with England. Crusaders from different realms needed to be distinguished by their emblems, and the English adopted the red cross on white, while others, such as the French, wore different colours. Meanwhile, the cult of St George, a Christian martyr and soldier saint, was growing rapidly across Europe, and his reputation as a protector of warriors made him an obvious figure for England to adopt. By the late 13th century, Edward I ordered his troops to bear the Red Cross in battle, and a century later, Edward III founded the Arthurian-inspired Order of the Garter in 1348, with St George as its patron, formally recognising him as England's national saint. From this point onwards, the older banners of the Dragon, St Edmund and St Edward gradually receded, while the simple but powerful Red Cross on white came to stand for England. By the 15th century, the St George's Cross was firmly established as the national flag, and was flown from ships, castles, military standards and the like. As far back as 1606 it was combined with the Scottish saltire to create the first Union flag, but it has remained the distinct flag of England itself. Today, sadly, the wyvern and the saintly banners are barely remembered as part of England's heritage, but despite centuries of union and the folding of the old medieval Kingdom of England into a new country, the Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, the Cross of St George endures. But that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and most importantly subscribe. And you can also support the channel on Subscribestar via the link in the description or via YouTube Super Thanks. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.